This game should have been an Oakland win from the outset. Starting pitcher Andrew Cashner was ripe for the picking. Andrew Cashner is tied as the worst starter with runners in scoring position. This did not, however, come into play. Marco Estrada was ready for his first win, but it did not turn out that way. Estrada left the game with a 1-6 deficit and the A's never fully recovered, losing 4-12. While the A's bats were warm throughout the game, the athletic pitching just never got ahead of the Orioles' bats. A's pitching, Estrada, a fly ball pitcher who is not overpowering with his fastball, gave up his first hit on a high fastball in the first. But it wasn't just a standard hit. It was a home run by Trey Mancini. Renato Nunez then doubled but was left stranded after third baseman Jose Alberto popped it up on the infield to Semien. This finished the first with 26 pitches for Estrada. Estrada continued to struggle in the second. On a curveball up and no dive from Kendrys Morales, Jesus Sucre singled up the first baseline. Richie Martin then followed with a base hit. And the bleeding continued. Cedric Mullins tripled to score Sucre and Martin. Profar, receiving the cutoff, made a throwing error trying to gun Mullins as he slid headfirst into third, but the ball hit his foot and Chapman could not get the ball quick enough to throw Mullins out at home. 4-0 Orioles. A quick third was not in the cards for Estrada, who gave up a hit to the leadoff batter Trey Mancini and another to Renato Nunez. Jose Alberto fouled out to Fegley when trying to put down a bunt. Then came Chris Davis, and 0-45 streak about to go 0-46 to tie the Major League record, but Profar tried an over-the-shoulder basket catch to drop the ball in foul territory. Lucky for the A's but not so lucky for Davis, a fly out to left field set Chris Davis down, tying the Major League record of 0-46, 0-25 for 2019. Estrada, on pitch. The good news, the A's got out of the inning without the first two batters scoring. The fourth inning would be Estrada's last. With one out, Cedric Mullins picked up his second triple of the game. Jonathan VR followed with a two-run homer to put 6 on the board for the O's. Despite a walk to Mancini, Estrada did get out of the inning. On the night he gave up 9 hits and 6 earned runs. Not the outing that was expected. Yusmeiro Petit handled the fifth well by getting the first 3 batters. This was in part thanks to Stephen Piscotty, who made a sliding catch in foul territory to get the third out. Petit then returned in the 6th, but it wasn't as fruitful. Petit gave up a triple to Richie Martin, who then scored on a sacrifice from Cedric Mullins, which put the Orioles up 7-4. This was the last inning for Petit, who was replaced by Liam Hendriks at the start of the 7th, who did his job despite walking the leadoff batter, Mancini. Ryan Buchter started the 8th, giving up a hit to Jesus Sucre. Richie Martin followed with a broken bat single to short center. Needless to say, this led to a mound visit and Fernando Rodney heading back onto the bullpen mound. Cedric Mullins then put down a sacrifice bunt to advance the 2 runners, and that was all for Buchter. Fernando Rodney, with the infield in and runners on second and third, gave up a 2 RBI hit by VR, though one could argue that it was poor judgment on his part, hugging the ball as it dropped within range in front of him. Both runs, of course, charged to Buchter. But Rodney picked up earned runs of his own, giving up a walk and then an RBI single to Trey Mancini, who was 3-3 on the night with 2 walks that moved the Orioles ahead 10-4. After getting the Nunez on a slow grounder for out number 2, Rodney gave up a 2 RBI single, 12-4 Orioles, which stayed that way as Rodney struck out Chris Davis. A's hitting. After a long weekend, the game started just the way the A's no doubt hoped for. On an off-speed pitch, Robbie Grossman went the opposite way for a base hit shot to left field. Chapman then followed with an opposite side shot to right field. With one out, Piscotty fly out to left. Chris Davis was robbed on a hard grounder that should have made it between third and short, but third baseman Jose Alberto made a tremendous diving stop, gunned the ball to VR at second, who slinged it quickly to first to just beat Davis for a 5-4-3 double play. Still, solid hitting by the Athletics. In the third, Cashner continued increasing his on-base percentage with a walk. Josh Phegley then appeared for his first at-bat. Phegley was caught yesterday in Houston, went 2 for 3 with a walk and had his first home run of the season. Easy to see why Melvin gave him the nod behind the plate today, and it was a great decision. Phegley's first at-bat was a 2-run home run to cut the score 4-2. In the fifth, Mark Canha led off by going yard in left center field. Phegley then grilled a shot to shortstop Richie Martin, who made a throwing error to give Phegley the pass. With one out, Chapman got his third hit of the game, but was left stranded as Piscotty flew out to center field. In the sixth, with runners on first, Profar, and third, Morales, Canha, 1-1 with a walk on the night, faced Jimmy Yacabonis. With a full count, Profar started running to second and Canha foul-tipped it into the catcher's glove and then threw quickly to second and was called on a throwing error that allowed Semien to score and Profar to advance to third. One run would be all the A's picked up in this inning as Phegley grounded to third and was thrown out at first. The A's made some noise in the eighth. Chris Davis led off with a base hit and, with one out, Marcus Semien single. Profar, representing the tying run, faced Yacabonis, who, despite a mound visit, was not pulled and loaded the bases by walking Profar. And that was all she wrote for Yacabonis, who was replaced by Michael Givens with one out. Givens was successful, striking out Canha for the second out. Then, facing Chad Pinder, pinch hitting for Josh Phegley, Givens got out of the huge jam with a grounder to second baseman VR for the putout at first. With 3 outs to go in the ninth, the top of the Athletics order was up. Unfortunately, little occurred. Grossman hit a slow roller to first for an unassisted out by Davis. Matt Chapman grounded to third and was thrown out at first, and Piscotty was stopped by a comebacker that threw him out at first. Other side notes, in the second inning, it became clear just how slow Kendrys Morales is. Morales hit an easy grounder to second baseman Jonathan VR. It was bobbled 3 times, caught between his legs and then in throwing to first it was wide and required a stretch to dig it out, and Morales was still thrown out. It's hard to know just how many alligators were counted in watching him lumber to first, but it was a lot. Add to this, his seemingly inability to dive for balls to his left and confidence in Morales was low. Luckily the A's are only paying about $1 million on his $12 million contract. Orioles' third baseman gave a Gold Glove performance and robbed more than one hit from A's batters. Orioles' first baseman took the Major League record, extending his slump to 0-49, despite great wood on the balls and line shots spread around the outfield. Oriole fans were wonderful, giving standing ovations and cheering him on throughout the game, just the way it should be.